Hello everyone, this is Ben Schaff of Level Up Tuts. Thanks for coming back. Before we start, as always, I want to encourage you guys to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, and you can also follow me on Twitter at Ben Schaff. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to wrap up WYGWAM, which is a WYSIWYG editor by Pixel and Tonic. In the last video, we did a basic configuration and talked through why you'd be wanting a WYSIWYG editor in the first place. And in this video, we're going to go through some of the advanced features. So let's do this. If you recall, add-ons, modules, scroll down to the bottom, WYGWAM, go over, actually we'll start right here. So file browser, this is something I intentionally breezed over last time, didn't really want to explain it. But now here we are. So what this means is when, like it says here, this is the file browser that you're going to use when, if you're, for example, uploading an image or something like that. And so I normally leave it on EE File Manager. Pixel and Tonic has developed another one called Assets. I don't own that one. Would love to try it out. Looks super sexy as usual, but I don't own it, so I can't show you. But I will show you, you know, what this one looks like. So I'm gonna leave this here. If you had Assets installed, you'd select it here. Otherwise, you can use CK Finder, which is sort of part of the CK Editor open source project. So I'm gonna leave as is. Go over to editor configuration, and I'm actually going to go into my basic one, which I've sort of customized a bit, but you didn't see because I didn't scroll down. So the top half of the screen is, especially this top, say maybe third, we discussed, right? Giving it a name. Here are the buttons that you're turning on and off in the toolbar. Here are the ones that are on this upper set, the ones that are off are this lower set in this darker gray box. And then we're going to talk about the bottom here. So, height. By default, right now, it's set to 200 pixels tall and is resizable, meaning that you can sort of drag down the box. The text area box. So if you have, for example, a body content, which is probably always going to be longer than just 200 pixels, what you can do from the onset when you're setting up that WYGWAM field is, you know, set this to something greater. Now it is, like I said, the box is checked, so it's resizable, but you know what happens is the content manager will want to see the entire the body in its entirety and not just 200 pixels at a time. So what you can do is you just change this to 6, and now it's 600, and we've, you know, tripled the size. CSS file. What this is referring to is the styles that get attached to the WYSIWYG editor. Now, if you recall in the last video, WYSIWYG stands for what you see is what you get. So what this field does is it gives you the ability, the functionality to hook up your, or maybe a small part of your CSS file, so that the body tags and headers and link colors are all the same size and line height and all that type of stuff. Very handy. I'm not going to bother with it right now. Then upload directory. I gave the example of just a moment ago as if you're uploading an image. You know, we're going to use that ExpressionEngine's default file manager, and it's going to go into this upload directory, which I don't know if I defined this one or if this was automatically set up this way, but this is it pulls from a preference under design, or actually where is it, under content files. Oh my gosh, content files. And then you have these, like your file manager and file upload preferences, where you can create more directories. But I just have mine going into the primary uploads area. And then down below, and this is where it gets interesting, we have these advanced settings. So let's look at another window real quick. I'm going to leave this one open, but open a new tab. As you guys know, I'm addicted to tab haul. Oh, anyway, and so if we were to create a new field, this is just empty, right? This is the advanced settings are not set. But what you'll see here is once I click on one of these, we're going to be able to see all of the CK editor configurations that are available through this very tight integration between the CK editor open source project and Pixel and Tonic's WYGWAM editor. So you may be looking at this list and saying like, holy shit, this is a lot of stuff. What am I supposed to know? This is confusing. I don't know what these things are. Well, fret not, right? You can select one of these, and once you select it, you get sort of the summary, and then you have the option, and then also you see the default value. This paste from Word, remove styles, that is referring to this button. And by default, it removes the styles when pasting from, some. Frequently, what happens is someone will copy and paste something from Microsoft Word, and it has a bunch of crap styles that will look really nasty on the web. And fortunately, there's a button and some additional function that will help clean that up. But if you select something that you're not familiar with, or maybe something that's more foreign to you, what you can do is you can click on the More. In the new tab, it brings you right over to a sort of more detailed description with more links that you can sort of dig deeper into and figure out, is this the function you want or not. It's what you'll find is this is a very complete WYSIWYG editor. If you are playing with something and it's not quite working the way that you would expect, and it's an advanced feature, what you might want to do, and I've had to do this numerous times, where I wasn't sure if it was an issue with WYGWAM or if it was an issue with CK editor. Like for example, if I was trying to do something and I would first check WYGWAM, that's Pixel and Tonic's support forum. If I couldn't find somebody that was having the same issue there, I'd head over to CK editor, and several times I found my answer on that board instead of Pixel and Tonic support board. So just keep that in mind. But let's do this. I'm going to go back over. I'm just go ahead and close this tab now. Go back to that previous one, which was mine basic, which is sort of advanced, and just show you a couple of these things. So there's one called body class and body ID, and what those things are referring to are this is referring to the class and the body ID of the iframed in document for the editor. This is all done with JavaScript and iframes and all that type of sort of fun stuff. If you were wondering, it's not Flash or anything like that. Ignore empty paragraphs. When you first enter a WYGWAM field, when you're creating new content, it automatically creates paragraph tags, which is helpful in some cases, but maybe could be a hindrance in others. So this is something that you can easily turn on and off. And then we've gone through some of these other ones. What you do is when you want to add another one, you would find the item that you want. Oh, actually, this is the auto paragraph. I was referring to the wrong thing here. Anyway, I think you'll figure this out by reading these little paragraphs. And then that's it. You just sort of select it. It automatically adds it. If you didn't want to do that, I don't want auto grow on startup, I can just sort of turn some of these things off. And then once I hit update, it saves. I can go back and look at the content. So I just want to show you one of these things real quick. Some of these advanced features. So this was the basic. So what I'm going to do is I can't right click, say like inside of here, because using JavaScript, it's sort of rewriting what the right click functionality is. Same for up here, it doesn't do anything. And that's probably a benefit for your sort of average content manager, but a hindrance to a web developer that's trying to show you this very specific thing. So anyway, we'll deal with it for now. I'm going to just inspect and show you what I was trying to get at. So let's go into this field set. Here's WYGWAM. I'm going to go into this span and just keep drilling down, drilling down. Here we got a table that's going to have some rows. We want the middle row. The top rows are actually referring to those buttons. Drilling down, here's that iframe. It's pulling in the document. And here's the HTML, and here's the body, and here's the ID, and here's the class. So what I was trying to say is, say you have some paragraphs here, and you want them to look like the paragraphs on your full site, larger, different font. You may need an additional class or ID. I was just showing you both, but obviously you wouldn't need both. You may need an additional class or ID so that you can effectively target these items instead of targeting things around it or whatever the case is. So anyway, those are just some of the features or some of the advanced features of WYGWAM. Oops, wrong screen. And obviously there's many more. And again, what I'm sure will happen is you're going to run into a little, one little thing, and you're going to be sort of reading these through one at a time, trying to figure out, is this the thing that you want? But remember, Google's your friend. Pixel and Tonic are your friend. I'm your friend. You have some resources out there. If you have any questions about WYGWAM, you can either send us a message on Twitter, leave a message in YouTube comments, or emails to our contact form on leveluptuts.com. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our next ExpressionEngine video, which is going to cover PlayUp. Take care.